So we're swinging right to the other extreme, and we're doing that on purpose to show the brain that it's possible, number one, and that it's safe to do that. All right. And next up is Camilla. Hi, Camilla.
Hi,
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm really good, thank you. So I have this fear of like not being able to get clients like for my business, like negative like consequences of that. I want to like work on this because there's like a lot of things that I can do to get clients, of course, but I don't want to act from fear.
Good job. Very good. I'm glad you asked. And well done for recognizing that you don't want to be taking actions or making decisions out of fear. Very good. So what's your biggest fear? What makes you think you may not get any clients or you may not get enough clients?
I think the belief that I have is that I'm not enough myself to do this. So
Okay.
that is going to repel like people.
All right. Very good, sweetheart. Okay. So my next question is, how do you know you're not enough?
I don't know, it's just like a feeling. It's not
Okay.
like real.
All right. Very good. Okay. So let's see, as you think about not being enough, what are the emotions there or what are the feelings?
I feel sad and
Sad.
also fear.
Okay, very good. And as you think of your childhood, what's the first thing that pops into your mind, even if it doesn't seem to be connected?
Like messages of
Mhm.
you are good now, but now you are not good, without a link between what's good and what's bad.
Right. Okay, very good. And how is that represented for you? Is it just a knowing? Is it, can you see something or you remember hearing something? What's there?
More like the knowing.
A knowing,
And of
yes.
course, I know that it's like related to my mom and my dad because I can feel them.
Very good. All right. And so let's press pause on that for a moment. And I want you to see if you can imagine what your parents would have been like and what life would have been like with them if they were perfect. So if they were the way that you would have wished they would be, what would that have felt like? And how would you then know that you are always good enough, even when you're not doing anything?
They would have been really like peaceful, like letting me know that I can do like what I want to do. And even if it's not easy or if I can't do that, I'm enough and I'm loved no matter what.
Very good. Good job, Camilla. So let's create that now. So let's take one parent at a time to make it a little bit sort of easier. So let's take your dad first. So I want you to imagine a scene where there's your dad. Let's just imagine him on his own first. And what would he look like? In other words, what would his expression be if he was like that? He was peaceful, easygoing, and he in himself was happy and safe and had everything he needed.
He would have probably like smiled more. Yeah, like that like happy, relaxed look on his face.
Very good job. And can you imagine him like that?
Yes,
Good
I
job. All right. And so now I want you to see the little you walking into the room. So he's in a room, and then the little you as a child, you walk in, and what happens?
he's really happy.
Good. Very good. And now I want you to imagine that there's something that you're supposed to do, and either you can't do it or you don't want to do it. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
And you tell him that you can't do it or you don't want to do it, and what happens?
He's very like reassuring with me. Like I
Okay.
know that he can help me and he knows more than me.
Mhm.
But also I just feel safe, like no matter what, because I know that he's there and he knows and he loves me.
Perfect. All right. So I want you to grab this moment now as a touchstone. For anyone new who's watching, there'll be links in the description for these links. So notice the feeling of feeling safe and that whole atmosphere. And however you know that, so the expression on his face or anything else, any other data that's there that you can remember, make a point to remember. You got that? And now I want you to come up with one phrase, a word or phrase that he says to you that represents this feeling. And if you need some help thinking of something, let me know. Let's see what comes for you.
I'm not sure.
Okay. So how about something like, I love you so much, sweetheart, or you're all right, it's okay.
Okay, yes, those will do.
Those two? Good, good, good. So now I want you to practice those phrases. So I love you so much, sweetheart, and it's okay, you're all right. Whatever phrase you like, practice that over and over with that scene in your mind, that moment in time, and the feeling. So the feeling of being safe, everything's okay. So really amp those feelings. So what we're doing is pumping those feel-good chemicals into your system and linking that state in your brain with that phrase and those seen as represented, whether it's visual or it's a knowing or it's a sound. All right. So you practice that over and over. And of course, you can watch the recording of this if you need to be reminded of it. Keep repeating that over and over like you would a new phone number until it's established and it comes easily. All right, so that's one piece. Now let's go to your mum. So we want to do the same thing with your mum. So imagine your mum on her own first. Imagine what the expression on her face would be if she was completely peaceful, happy, safe, and had everything she needed, and he felt secure and confident. Can you imagine that?
It's more difficult to imagine her being like calm. Like I can see her being like happy and loving, but I can't see her being like relaxed and calm.
Okay, very good. So I want you to imagine that she has taken some laughing gas.
Okay.
And can you imagine that?
Yes.
And what would she be like if that was the case?
She will be having so much fun.
Good. And now I want you to imagine that she's a hippie in the 60s. So she's got the long flowing kaftan. They're living on a place where you farm your own food, and what are they called? Those places where everybody lives together and you all share everything and everything's very laid back. There's someone playing guitar. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
So she's very slow. She moves very slowly. It's a beautiful day, and she's in a hammock. How does that feel?
It's different from her, but I like that.
Good, very good. So you can imagine that. That's perfect. So again, keep practicing that scene or those kinds of scenes with your mum. So we're swinging right to the other extreme, and we're doing that on purpose to show the brain that it's possible, number one, and that it's safe to do that. Okay, so keep imagining her in that kind of persona. And then now you've got her in that persona, and I want you to imagine that she's relaxing outside. She's in her kaftan. There's music playing in the background very gently, and perhaps she's got something to drink. She's very laid back and happy. And then you walk in, or you walk over to her, and what happens?
She smiles and she's happy to see me.
Good job. Very good. Again, so there's something that you are supposed to do, and either you can't do it or you don't want to do it. And when you tell her that, what happens?
She smiles and she says something like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like, we are going to solve it together."
Good. Very good, Camilla. And how does that feel?
It feels really good.
Fantastic. So that's your second stone moment. So again, whatever she said to you right there, don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll sort it out together, along with whatever, if there are any visuals or knowings and the feelings that go with that. So how does that feel when she says those things?
It feels like relief.
And do you feel safe?
Yes.
Very good. All right. So those two touchstones, you're going to practice them until they're established, until they come to mind easily, and until those feelings come very easily as you think of them. And you're attaching the phrase that each parent said to the image or knowing and the feeling, so that that's all connected. So that as you say that phrase, your brain automatically produces those feel-good chemicals. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And let's pretend for a moment that those two scenes actually happened. That's actually what your childhood was like. How would you feel now about getting clients if you'd had that childhood?
I mean, I still don't know, but I will be more calm. Like, okay, I will find like the way, at this proper time.
Good. And in fact, let me ask you a slightly different question, which will be more relevant. If that was your childhood, and so those scenes were real and these were real memories, how would you feel about being enough for your clients?
I could feel more enough for sure. Like,
Good.
yes, because like I feel like the not enoughness is not a
Mhm.
lack of something, it's like an excess of something that is not good and it's not real.
Yes, yes. And it seems that what it is the turmoil around your parents.
Mm.
And that little you, because children, everything as far as the unconscious part of the child's brain is concerned, everything is related to them and their fault or they need to fix it.
Yes.
And of course, you were never going to be able to fix your parents. You were never going to be able to make them feel safe. But this is about them not being safe in their own experience, which to the child who is relying on these people to keep her alive, he's not safe.
Yeah.
So the lack of calm in your parents is what gave you that hyper alertness, hyper vigilance, and you feeling like I'm not enough to make it okay.
Yes, and I think I feel like that. Like I'm afraid of making like clients feel my unsafeness, like making
Mm-hmm.
them feel unsafe too.
Yeah. So practicing those new scenes, those new childhood references, and really prioritizing establishing those because those are foundational. And then when you think of your clients, play those memories first. Whenever you think of getting clients or any actions you might take or thought comes to you that you may not be enough or they may sense your feeling of unsafeness or whatever it is, immediately play those two memories, those two new scenes of your parents to redirect your brain to those new references
Mm-hmm.
as proof that you are safe, you are confident, you are worthy, and you are enough. And therefore, that's what your clients are going to pick up on.
Yes.
Make
Mm-hmm.
sense? And then combine that with the superpower. So
Mm.
again, for those who are new, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video so that you are filling yourself first and then prepave any actions you take, any decisions you make, and any interactions with clients.
Yes.
How does that
Really.
sound?
It sounds really good. Yeah, because I feel, I mean, not now, but sometimes I feel like I'm trying to fight like something that is not real. Like I feel like I'm lacking something, but I'm not lacking anything. So I can't fix something that
Yeah,
doesn't exist.
that's right. And that's because it's not now. It's not about now.
Yeah.
It's those moments in your childhood. So if we go back to the beginning of this conversation, what you were feeling about your parents or the references you had for your parents back then were that there wasn't safety there.
Yes.
And you weren't safe to just be who you are, and you weren't safe to not be able to do something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So every time the adult you now, your conscious mind, was thinking about taking action or making decisions or, how am I going to get clients or imagining what it would be like to work with clients, as you were doing that consciously, the unconscious part of your brain was referring to all those moments in your childhood where you felt, I'm getting waves of goosebumps as I'm saying this, where you felt unsafe because you didn't do it or you couldn't do it or
Yeah.
your parents were unstable, all of
Yes.
that. And then of course it was pumping stress chemicals into your system now going, I'm in danger. And then your conscious mind is interpreting that as I'm not enough, or I don't know if I'll be able to do it, or I don't know if I'll get any clients, or whatever those kind of logical reasons were that automatically come up.
Yes.
How does that sound?
Yes, it makes sense. I feel like better now. I want to practice those more.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. Well done, Camilla. I'm excited for you because changing those two foundational pieces right there can completely catapult you and take that block away.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited too.
Yay! Good job, you sweetheart. And thank you so much for bringing the question, because I know it'll help others as well.
Thank you for helping me.
Very good. You're welcome. And for any of those who are interested, just to let you know, Camilla is actually our social media manager. So Camilla, any of our social media posts that you see, those are all created by Camilla. If anybody's looking for someone who is brilliant at her job, thought I'd give you a quick plug there, Camilla.
Thank you for that.
All right. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week, and see you next week. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.